It all on the line. Hit the floor. Feel the pain. It's all been worth it. And look at you now. It's all you think about. It consumes your days. You play for community and tradition. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Some of you will move on to another season or another life. But first, one last dance with this team. These fans. With this great game. Make the moment count. For all the hard work and dedication, this is your chance to shine. Welcome to the tradition of March Madness. The final game of the basketball season is the biggest game ever for the kids on two teams and the two communities who support them. There are butterflies. Getting your butterflies to fly in formation will determine the champion and the runner-up. For the second time in 3 seasons, Grand Rapids South Christian and Muskegon Heights will meet to decide Michigan's Class B championship. Welcome back inside the Breslin Center and our continuing coverage of the high school basketball championships here on FSN. I'm John Keating, joined by Greg Kelser. And I'm guessing back in the day, Greg Kelser probably went out to a club or two and danced to the musical strains of Kool and the Gang.
I did.
Well, that is a description for the South Christian team that invades the Breslin Center. David Kool was something special last night.
You're not talking about JT, you're talking about David Kool. And if ever there was a name that fit, this young man was that under pressure, very cool. And as you look at these shots against Detroit Renaissance, they all came in pressurized situations. When the night was over, 37 points on 15 of 22 shooting.
Remember, he's just a junior. He averages 23.5 points a game. But the message from his head coach is that David Kool is not just a scorer.
I think what makes David special is, you know, there are kids probably more explosive than him and kids that shoot better than him, but I haven't seen a kid do everything that I can think of on a basketball court at a high level like he does. I mean, he's our best defender, he's our best passer, he's our best ball handler. You know, there's just nothing that he doesn't do very well.
And as you watch David Kool perform, it may look like he's coasting and not expending a lot of energy, but he works hard as anybody. Watch and enjoy. He's a fantastic player.
Well, Muskegon Heights, the other team in the building tonight, they're in the championship game for the 8th time in 35 years, but it has been a while since they won it all. This Tiger team has rekindled their tradition.
Well, it's extremely important in the city of Muskegon Heights. We had our last time we had a state championships in 1978-79, those guys back to back, but since then it's been kind of dry, so our city and our community is hungry for another banner.
So all the practices are behind them, all the racks have been run. The message from both coaches tonight is that the moment is now. While getting here is special, Coach Keith Guy told his kids after last night's game, it's just not enough.
Enjoy the moment, but for 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes, man. This is just another win in our direction. Okay, another W in our win column, and we live to see another day.
I've been here before.
But
I want to win.
what we come down here to do? Win.
That's right.
That game wasn't it.
It's just one more step.
We got more to go.
Association Class B boys.
The MHSAA Boys Basketball Finals on FSN Detroit, brought to you by Bell Tire. Trust us will make you happy you came in. That's a promise. By Gardner White Furniture, we're known by the money you keep. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Call 1-800-521-7800. Inside the Breslin Center in East Lansing, I'm John Keating with Greg Kelser. Our producer, Carolyn Rosinski, our director, Jeff Bile, and our FSN Detroit crew getting set for the starting lineups in tonight's Class B championship game. Let's join public address announcer Eric O'Forsett.
And now let's make the starting lineup for this evening's game between the Sailors of Grand Rapids South Christian High School and the Tigers of Muskegon Heights High School. For the Sailors at forward, 6'3" senior number 24, Chris Van Ryan. For the Tigers at forward, 6'1" senior number 1, Dominic Smith. For Grand Rapids Central Christian at forward, 6'6" senior 33, Andrew Vandershek. For Muskegon Heights forward, 6'5" senior 42, Calvin Vance. At center for the Sailors, 6'6" senior 32, Tim Deckcraft. Center for the Tigers, 6'8" senior 52, Edward Sanders. For South Christian at guard, 6' senior number 4, Jordan Torres. For Muskegon Heights at guard, 5'11" senior number 2, Aaron McDaniel. And the other guard for the Sailors, 6'2" junior number 5, Taylor Pugh. And for Muskegon Heights at guard, 6' senior number 3, Anthony Sindor. Head coach, Grand Rapids South Christian, and Hiskus. Head coach, Muskegon Heights High School, Keith Dye. Officials this evening, David Bradley, James Evans.
Both these teams are 25-1. South Christian, Kenny Hiskus with a spectacular record as the head coach in his 8 years with the Sailors. And there's Keith Guy, 51-3 in his 2 seasons, head manning the Tigers of Muskegon Heights. And we expect a dandy to close out what has been a terrific day of basketball here in East Lansing. Let's check the road to the finals, brought to you by Wallside Windows. You see the paths that South Christian took getting past Hillsdale and Detroit to Renaissance, while Muskegon Heights had to battle their way through Houghton Lake and Hazlitt to get to this point. The last basketball game of the Michigan high school basketball season. Muskegon Heights in the white, South Christian in the navy. And we are underway with a Heights possession. Sidnor all the way to the basket. It rolls in. Anthony Sidnor gets his goal.
One of their better players. Sidnor, a lot of quickness. Showed it right there as he was able to beat his defender off the dribble and get a layup.
David Cools being chased by Dominic Smith.
Tiger foul.
Quick foul.
3, Sidnor, his first.
Anthony Sidnor, his first.
There you see the strip from behind, but a little too much contact on the arm. Sidnor with his first foul.
Jason Torres, the Van Ryan, blocked by Sanders.
Sanders using all 6 feet 8 inches that time to reject that one. Did not block any shots in the win over Renaissance, but certainly clogged it up there.
South Christian with 2 6'6" post players. Vanderschaft and Dycraft like to muscle. And a little too much muscle.
Yes, on the basket.
Calvin Vance draws the foul and gets the basket.
Vance posted, called for it, got it, delivered. Here's that block that set it up by Edward Sanders. 6 feet 8 inches tall, and here's Vance. He's 6'5", he's a senior, he's strong. He's got a 3-point chance here.
Foul on Andrew Vanderschaft.
All seniors in this Muskegon Heights starting lineup, so they do not lack for experience.
They've been here before. And Ryan pestered by Sidnor.
In fact, David Cool right with the ball, the only junior on the floor. Everybody else, seniors.
Cool was the 6th man on the South Christian team, which beat Muskegon Heights in the 2003 championship game. Aggressive defense, the hallmark of Muskegon Heights. Jordan Torres. Cool will take it. And splash it through.
He knows how to get open, folks. Reads his screens and knows where his defender is at all times. And his range is unlimited.
Sidnor is doubled. Vance on the baseline. Sidnor will take a long three, and that goes.
I mean, really long. And he did it right there on David Cool, as if to send a message.
The message would be in your face.
Back at you, all that stuff.
Van Ryn on a wing. Cool has it popped away by Smith. Out of bounds. Well, it's been back-to-back.
Check out David Cool in his range. That gets Grand Rapids South Christian on the board. But then right back the other way while being guarded by Cool, Sidnor launches from even farther out. Oh, man. Look at this. Look at this. Sidnor. Or excuse me, Dominic Smith, and the officials may be having to get between these two guys.
Would the electrician please report to the scores table?
Dominic Smith, be careful.
Official timeout.
We have an electrical issue in the arena, and that's what has caused our stoppage in play. But Dominic Smith obviously has been told by his coach to be right there.
Be physical, play hard, make Cool take tough shots. But why do you want to get in a guy's face that's just knocked down 69 points in his last 2 games? Okay, here's the delay. Here's the loose ball. And you've got Arian McDaniel going after it aggressively. And he's going to knock over the scorer's box there. And
he unplugged some stuff.
Everything came unglued and unplugged.
Well, we appreciate technology. But that's gotten in the way here. And it's a special gift. Something can be unplugged with one's backside. There's Ken Hiskis. His team scrimmaged this Muskegon Heights team. We'll finish that story when we come right back. They've seen each other already once this season. More from the Breslin Center when we continue on FSN after this. Welcome back to East Lansing. They have rebooted the computer. We are still early in this one, but there is a developing story, Greg.
Right there on the left is number 1, Dominic Smith for Muskegon Heights. On the right, of course, is David Cool for Grand Rapids South Christian. Now, I'm sure that when told that he would be guarding Cool, Smith probably didn't rest much last night. Very anxious to get out there and prove himself. And he is right there jawing and breathing right in Cool's face. Now, I mentioned, hey, you go out and do the job, do it the best you can. But I don't think you're going to rattle Cool. He's probably had plenty of that in his day.
You don't follow a guy to his huddle either. David Cool on Smith, blocked by Sanders.
Sanders with 2 blocks. He doesn't provide a whole lot of scoring for Muskegon Heights, but he is doing exactly what they need him to do right now, and that's be that last line of defense. Cool determined to take this, but he was right there waiting. Cool never saw him coming.
There have been 2 conversations between the officials and Dominic Smith about not taking his defensive assignment too seriously. Another block inside. Sidnor against Cool. South Christian playing man-to-man. Arian McDaniel to the basket. That rolls off the front edge. Rebound slid forward by South Christian. Dykegraph, his shot knocked away. Sidnor, pump fake. It's too strong. Cool comes away with it. And a foul on McDaniel. A little frustration on the part of Arian McDaniel.
Well, the pace of this game right now certainly favors Muskegon Heights.
McDaniel, his first, second
Grand
team
Rapids
foul.
South Christian, they will want to slow it down a little bit more and run their offense. And the one thing that David Cool will have to resist, and I know it's difficult sometimes, is the urge to prove something to your defender and try to turn it into a one-on-one affair.
South Christian can run, though, and their coach Ken Hiska says that's where they get their energy from. That seems to bode well for them when they are running a little bit. Vanderschaft is hammered, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Well, I guess the distinction I was trying to draw was the
Muskegon Heights
run, yes, but
42,
if it's not there,
Calvin
then
Vance.
don't take the
His
early
first,
ill-advised shot,
13th
because that's going to
foul.
play right into the
At the
hands
line.
of Muskegon Heights. And there's the play inside. It's
Andrew
physical.
Vanderschaft
Neither
gets
team
2.
wanting to give up anything from close range.
It speaks to what's on the line. It is going to be a hard game. The senior Vanderschaft makes the first of 2. And the second one pops away. Daniel on the point. Calvin Vance. Looking to score. His spin.
He had the one-on-one opportunity there going against Andrew Vanderschaft, and he was able to get by him.
With no call by the officials. Torres pushing the pace a little bit. There's contact, and again, no call. Poole has to pass it out to Torres. Van Ryn. Wish.
That time they ran their offense, they got a screen away from the ball that brought a shooter, Van Ryn, to the ball, and he was able to knock that down totally unguarded. That's running your offense when the early opportunity isn't there.
Daniel hits a 3.
For number 2, Aaron McDaniel.
Showing that he has some O to go with that D. Very good defensive player, very good on-the-ball defender. But that time, knocking down the long 3.
Nice give and go, and Van Ryn gets it. And puts it in.
The execution right now for South Christian, very good in the half court.
Sanders is double teamed. Inside it goes. And an easy bucket for Dominic Smith.
Yep, and the execution on this end, very good. So these teams have settled down playing good basketball right now.
Assist Vance.
Cool baseline, yes.
By David Cool.
He doesn't need a lot of room, does he?
And he's not shy, as most scorers aren't. There's the ultimate double team, both Torres and Dycraft.
And for the
Beating the
Sailors,
Tiger to the ball.
23, Brett Cassane.
Brett Cassane enters the ball game,
For Vanderschaft.
replacing Vanderschaft. The big guys for South Christian had a rugged night last night. Playing 2 of these back-to-back is can be wearing. Daniel, a sweet move, but he can't get the runner to go. Cool on Sidnor. Offensive foul on David Cool.
Grand Rapids South Christian foul.
Well, on this play, Sidnor
His first, second team foul.
gets down
Player
in
control
position,
foul.
and it looks like he sets himself properly.
And
Wasn't
for
totally squared up, but
the Sailors,
certainly was
13,
chest to chest
Matt Baker.
and got the benefit of that contact. Could have easily have gone the other way. Those are such judgment calls.
The Heights with the ball. Up by 3. And an offensive foul is called the other way.
Yep, Vance clearing space in there. Noticeably
Muskegon
pushed
Heights
off
foul, 42 Vance, his second, 14th foul.
right there.
Second foul on Calvin Vance. Full court pressure now for the Tigers. Broken easily by Torres. All the way, but his runner bounces out. He gets his own rebound. Blocked again by Sanders. Tied up ball is going South Christian's way.
Sanders has 3 block shots in this game, demonstrating that you're not going to just go right up in his face and block the shot. Here, He'll block it without jumping. Check it out. Get it out of here.
Ball goes to Grand
Doesn't jump, but it
Rapids,
still
South
counts as a
Christian.
block shot.
Torres to Cool. In the paint, a little hook. Yes.
Cool, number 5, David Cool.
He's playing under
Assist
control now.
scorer.
Got under control just for a moment, but he's back within himself and reaping dividends right now for South Christian.
He's guarding Muskegon Heights' best player, Sidney. And is being guarded by him. Bounce pass surprised his teammate. There's Smith on the front end. That won't go. A little sloppy inside, but the shot blocker Sanders gets a bucket.
Edward Sanders.
All right, now we're officially a little out of control, I'm afraid.
I think you're going to have bouts of that in this game as both teams try to push it on the other.
High energy teams.
Number 4, Ricky
Vanderschaft returns. Dijkgraaf will have a seat.
Also
Van Ryn back into the game.
Chris Van Ryn.
Jordan Torres finds Cool. Three-pointer. Got it.
Oh, he got lost that time. I think Sidnor thought they were going zone.
David Cool.
Everybody else was man-to-man except the guy guarding Cool, and he's the wrong guy to leave open.
He's known as AMAC. It says it right there on the back of his head. Arian McDaniel yo-yoing the dribble near center court. Final seconds of the first quarter as Muskegon Heights will try to take the last shot. Little pressure, kickball by David Cool.
Here you're going to see Cool just moving well without the basketball. Now where's the guy guarding him? It was supposed to be Sidnor, but Sidnor was in a zone. He was at the top of the key when the ball came in bounds.
The coach says one of their strengths is the ability of the big guys to set screens. And even those that don't score a lot, set some roadblocks of screens. And that's why Cool has had the season he's had. That's Muskegon Heights in the final seconds of the first quarter. Sanders has it go off his fingers, but it was last touched by South Christian.
That was going to be a tough pass for Sanders, and I think Sanders is the type of big man where you got to really be cautious with the balls you deliver to him. Nothing needs to have sauce on it. It needs to be something that's catchable. So right now you've got Muskegon Heights fortunate to maintain control with 3.7 to go.
High ball game, last seconds of the first quarter. Long try for a three. Won't go, and we'll head to the second. Tied at 16. It is everything we expected and then some. There has been jawing, there has been emotion, there has been long-range shooting, and there has been major quicks. South Christian and Muskegon Heights playing for the Class B state championship in the last title game of the day here in East Lansing. We'll continue from the Breslin Center on FSN in just a moment. (16-16) at the end of one between South Christian and Muskegon Heights, and 10 of the Sailors' points are from their leading scorer, David Cool.
David Cool has been the man as we envisioned he'd be for Grand Rapids South Christian. And look at the way he uses his screens. You don't have to give this guy much room. He'll get the shot off, can certainly put it on the floor and create for himself. This is the only time he really got out of control and drew that offensive charge. But back under control, again, reading his screens, they're scoring in a crowd with a little baby jump hook. There's a variety of ways to hurt you.
He had 37 points last night. He's on a hotter pace than that tonight, and he usually knows early what kind of a night it's going to be.
32nd period on alternate possession. Muskegon Heights High School will put the ball in play.
And here comes Muskegon Heights to start the second quarter. Anthony Sidnor entering the game for Muskegon Heights is David Cross. That shot wouldn't fall. Van Ryn on a wing. Vanderschaft against Sanders, blocked again.
You got to get some separation. If you don't get some room between you and Sanders, he's not going to let you get that shot off.
Tim Dycraft hustling back down court to make the steal.
The thing you have to do with a shot blocker, you must take him somewhere on the floor. You cannot just turn and shoot on him. Right here, you don't take him far enough. You don't make Sanders have to move his feet. Standing there, right there in front of you, long arms, forget it.
Muskegon Heights swings it around. Inside it goes. Sanders with a follow.
Tip by 52, Sanders.
Great game.
He absolutely is.
Doing what he does.
It has affected how this game has gone. Dycraft to the basket, was fouled on Root.
Tiger foul,
He'll shoot a
52,
couple of free
Sanders. That's his first 15 foul.
4 blocks already for Ed Sanders,
Shooting
the
foul.
junior. Last year was
gets
his
2.
first season of playing basketball. 6'6" Tim Dycraft will shoot a couple of free throws, and he makes the first one. Wants to grow up to be a dentist. They make lots of money. They do very well. You must be very smart. They're not my favorite people.
You're right, they do make a lot of money.
Double team, almost stolen by Torres. David Cross, yes.
30,
that time-
David Cross.
South Christian made to pay for the gamble, left them unbalanced defensively, especially along the baseline, and Cross was able to get it in off the window from 12 feet.
Torres, ball hawked by Cross. Sidnor, nice spin on Van Ryn, and he gets the basket.
That was pretty.
What a move. Regained his balance as he nearly fell. Not only got the spin in the lane, but finished that with the offhand.
Ricky Anderson now on David Poole, but it matters not to David Poole.
You just can't stop him. Cannot stop him. He and Sidnor really going after each other.
Cross now running the offense for the Tigers. Ricky Anderson. Cross. And there's a foul inside, and we'll stay right here.
One thing right now that's happening, Grand Rapids South Christian, they're having a problem with the penetration of Muskegon Heights' ball handlers. But here's that nice move by Sidnor, catching his balance and then making that move without traveling and finishing with that left hand.
Switching the ball in midair. Anderson. Sidnor with cool guarding. Sidnor keeps moving out and bombs a 3. There's the separation.
For 3.
Just kept backing up. Dycraft forgotten, and he gets the bang.
That time, Grand Rapids was able to attack the pressure smartly and got an easy basket. Took about 5 seconds to score.
Poole has to come way up on Sidnor now. David Cross attacking the basket. Off the back iron. Rebound Vandersheldt. For a moment, he gets it back. Out of bounds off Muskegon Heights, and South Christian will retain possession.
And for the Sailors, 23.
South Christian not particularly deep, so they try to give guys as many blows as they can. So Cassane comes back in, and Vandersheldt will get a breather. Here comes the 1-2-2 pressure from Muskegon Heights. And the trap. Sidnor tapped it out of bounds.
Both teams shooting the ball extremely well here. Almost a little more than 3 minutes into this second quarter.
Everybody sort of taking a breath now as Muskegon Heights ratchets up the pressure.
They're trying to spread the floor so that they can pop somebody free.
Van Ryn will take a 3. And that bounces away. Daniel with a rebound. side it goes. Offensive foul on James Martin.
Tiger foul number 5. Martin his first player control foul. 16 foul.
16 fouls now on Muskegon Heights. One away from the bonus. And oh my, as the pace of this slowed down as Muskegon Heights has gone to that half-court zone pressure.
Well, before they cross half court, they want to make sure that they're properly aligned, and that means really spreading it out and make the area that Muskegon Heights has to cover with that trap, make it long and wide.
David Cool, yes!
Guy doesn't miss.
David Cool.
The cross-court pass set up another Cool bomb. David Fox, his pass is picked off. And right on the front end, pulls it out. There's Dykegraf. Spins in the paint, gets it.
Well, things turning the way of Grand Rapids South Christian. They're the ones that are applying the pressure right now, getting the turnovers, and their transition game is very much in effect.
Muskegon Heights trailing for the first time of the game. David Cool, sandwiched between two Tigers, and a foul is called.
Yeah, you've got Muskegon Heights totally out of control right now.
That is his first.
They were getting penetration, but now that penetration is not there. They're forcing penetration and taking very poor shots.
There's David Cool, having himself another big game on the big stage that is the Breslin Center. We'll continue in the second quarter. A 2-point lead for Grand Rapids South Christian, and David Cool will shoot from some free throws as his Sailors are in the bonus.
David Cool, one shot.
Looking to build upon a night in which he has already scored 15 points, make it 16.
Keep in mind his last two, 69 combined.
David Cool is playing for something special. His grandfather was pushing his grandmother's wheelchair at his regional game and collapsed. This is just not that long ago. Sadly, his grandfather passed away, and so he is using his grandfather's passing as something of an inspiration. The whole team went to the visitation and attended the funeral, which was this past week. His grandpa, very special to him, used to take him to all of his doctor's appointments. But David Cool was not told that his grandfather had collapsed. Finished the game, found out about it later. And that is something that is in the back of his mind as he tries to win a state championship for South Christian here tonight. 17 points now for David Cool.
I want you to see just how open David Cool was on his last field goal. Look at this. Guys, maybe the best shooter in the entire state. You got to know where he is, and you got to make sure someone is on him, or he'll get 40 easily on you.
That's a byproduct of the trapping defense. Someone gets lost. David Cool is inching his way up among the best scorers in Michigan basketball history. You can remember those names. Antoine Jobert from the city of Detroit. If you would like to help out and be a part of basketball, well, you can become an official. Last year, over 12,000 men and women answered the call to make the calls. By becoming game officials, to you we say thanks. And while many have answered the call, many more are always needed. If you'd like to become a registered official, visit the MHSAA website at MHSAA.com. Pressure now from South Christian. Sidnor, baseline. His shot won't go, but he was fouled on his way to the basket, and Anthony Sidnor will shoot a pair.
And if you've seen Muskegon Heights at all, you know that their style is up-tempo, pushing it, always attacking. But they must do it intelligently, and getting it in the hands of Sidnor, a senior, very, very good idea, because he knows how to get inside and use his quickness and his foot speed to avoid picking up charges, and plus he still gets off a pretty decent shot, even though he got contact there.
He had 21 points in the semifinal win over Hazlitt, along with 10 rebounds. The captain of the Tigers has committed to Ferris State to play basketball. He's their best player. Further pressure from Muskegon Heights on South Christian. Good court man. Torres. Dykegraph to Cool. Stolen away by Sidnor. Dominique Smith. Marion McDaniel. Sanders trying to set up down low. He'll get the basketball.
You don't want to throw it to Sanders in a crowd. He's not the strongest guy with the basketball.
Sidnor over Van Ryn is too short. Out of bounds to South Christian. Two and a half to play until halftime. But it's more pesky pressure that the Tigers are throwing on the Sailors right now.
Well, they're doing a fine job of spreading their floor and finding their number one scorer.
Sane saves it after Sidnor almost stole it. Travel. And Muskegon Heights will get the ball back.
Yeah, I guess that possession was just doomed to failure because they never really got quite set, never moved the ball around, pretty much stayed in the hands of number 24, Chris Van Ryn, and he ultimately gave it up. But here comes some Grand Rapids South Christian pressure.
Get it inside to Sanders. He'll spin and roll one in.
Nicely done.
And Sanders.
Nice catch by David Cool in the corner.
Bad place to be.
Swamped by a couple of Tigers.
Very fortunate South Christian to keep possession. He caught it off balance to begin with, and when he came down, he had two defenders and two out of bounds lines over there to deal with.
Dominic Smith continues to pressure David Cool. He desperately wanted the turnover there. Cool and Smith really going at it.
Well, that's going to be on David Cool as he was trying to set a back screen for the lob, but he got too much of number 3 that time, Sidnor. Here, just watch as Cool makes his move up towards the key, and he sets the screen right there, and that's 2 on him. But you know what? He's a very intelligent player. He'll know how to avoid further difficulty, so I don't think they're going to move and bring him out of there.
Down the lane. There's McDaniel. Rebound fought forward, and South Christian will get it back.
And now it looks like they will bring a couple of subs in, and one may be David Cool. You don't want to risk losing him, but no, John, he's going to stay.
Matt Baker enters the game along with Vanderschaft. And we've got a 30-second timeout on the floor.
South timeout. 30-second timeout.
Christian taking the timeout just to regroup a little bit. We mentioned that these two teams had seen each other really before the season began. There was a scrimmage at Rockford High School, and both South Christian and Muskegon Heights were invited to participate. It was great basketball, we're told. David Cool, well known to people on the west side of the state. And Muskegon Heights got a pretty good look at him that day. And they're seeing more of him here today.
Well, the D on him was tough early, but like any great scorer, he finds a way. And all of that occurred before he started his binge of 17 points in this half.
There's a smile shared between the official and Cool. Everybody knows what's going on the floor. And the official's doing a nice job of sort of lighten the mood just a tad.
It's a good competitive basketball game.
Absolutely. Vanderschaft Torres. That's Baker. Another block. Muskegon Heights. So long.
For a moment, it looked like number 13, Baker, was wide open for that shot, but from out of nowhere comes another Muskegon Heights defender to swat it away.
The same shot won't go. Muskegon Heights coming right back at him. Anthony Sidnor.
Both of these teams had 5-point leads that they were unable to build on.
We're back to a 1-point game with under a minute to play. Sidnor left hand, yes!
He's going to the basket. You don't know which hand he's going to shoot it with.
Here's David Poole. 5-0 run for Muskegon Heights late in the first half. Baker. All the way to the basket. Nice crossover dribble from Matt Baker.
He got the last one rejected, but was not about to get that one sent back, and shows too that he can finish with the offhand. Back and forth we go.
Under 10 seconds to play in the first half of the Class B championship game. McDaniel called for a travel. And with 4 seconds to play, South Christian will get one last crack at it to build upon a 1-point lead.
Cool inbound. Don't be surprised if he doesn't get it back.
Torres racing against the clock. Spins. Shoots. Yes! Jordan Torres at the buzzer. After a 5-0 Muskegon Heights run, South Christian comes right back to the dismay of Anthony Sidnor.
Torres knew exactly what he wanted to do with the basketball. He knew the clock, got the little spin move, and launched it right at the buzzer and got the bottom. And man, is he pumped about it. Yes!
It is raw emotion, it is unscripted drama, and it is great fun in East Lansing, and has been all day long. We'll look back at the first half and look back at this day in high school basketball championship history when we continue on FSN in just a moment. 33-30, South Christian leads Muskegon Heights at halftime of the Class B championship game. Welcome back, John Keating with Greg Kelster. We knew the two guards on the guard on each team was something special. They've lived up to advanced billing.
This thing could go right down to the wire like two of our earlier games. And it is a very good game, well contested. The defense is very much there. And here's Anthony Sidnor right now sitting on 13 points for Muskegon Heights. He scored in a variety of ways, especially getting down the lane and able to finish with the offhand. And of course, David Cool, well documented the type of player that he is. 17 points, unstoppable. If he's not guarded when he catches the basketball, you can book it.
David Cool, a senior, and remember that in the beginning of this game, it was Dominique Smith of Muskegon Heights who was right in his face. He's drawing the defensive assignment for most of the night on David Cool. We'll find out whether he's able to cool off as we continue in the Class B championship game. Still to come. (33-30), South Christian on top of Muskegon Heights, halftime of the Class B championship game, and tonight's game being refereed by David Riley and James St. Onge and Joseph McCormick, and they're doing a terrific job. And last year, over 12,000 men and women answered the call to make the calls by becoming high school game officials. We say thanks, and while many have answered the call, many more are always needed. If you'd like to become a registered official, visit the MHSAA website at MHSAA.com. For Muskegon Heights, Calvin Vance, he is hoping to get some of those calls down the stretch. He and his Tigers down 3 to the Sailors at halftime. It is a 3-point game in the last championship to be decided here in East Lansing. South Christian on top of Muskegon Heights, and let's take a look at our first half stats brought to you by Bell Tire.
You know, there are only 9 turnovers combined in this game. That tells you how well played it is because the defense has been very, very intense. Both teams shooting the ball extremely well, over 52%. Look at those 6 blocks, 4 of those by the big fella, Edward Sanders. I think this one has the chance to go right down to the end. It is very exciting.
We think this is going to be skinny all the way. It was skinny for Jordan Torres to get a shot off at the buzzer to end the first half. He did get the shot off. It did go, and that has contributed to a 3-point South Christian lead. The Class B championship game about to continue. The start of the third quarter, and Ken Hiskus and his South Christian Sailors on top by 3 over Muskegon Heights. Throughout the course of the day, there have been some student broadcasters getting a chance to get their feet wet electronically. Let's bring in our crew from Hazlitt, Michigan, young Dan Onwaller and Greg Kerner, and give them a listen.
Monitors David Cool to bring the ball in on the alternate possession. Torres with the ball back court, guarded by McDaniel. To Cool to Torres. Torres looks for the 3, off to Cool on the right-hand side. Cool, pull-up jumper from the elbow, no good. Rebounded away by the Tigers. Sidnor across the timeline, almost loses the handle, picks it back up though. He drives himself, basket is no good, and South Christian pushes. David Cool, right-hand side, throws it inside to Vanderschaft, loses the ball, comes up with it, is McDaniel. McDaniel to Smith. Smith, basket up and good. Torres, 32-33, Sailors lead. Torres to Vanderschaft, to Van Ryn. To Torres. Torres right-hand side. Ball to Vandergraaf, stolen away by Muskegon Heights. Sidnor pull-up 3-point shot is way off the mark, rebounded by Sanders. He misses as well. Scrapped for and picked up finally by the Tigers. Second chance points a factor tonight. We get a foul here called on number 1, Dominique Smith. Reach-in foul. That's going to be Smith's first.
I kind of like this.
Look out, John. They don't have an analyst over there, so I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm getting a chance to enjoy the game. They'd love to have you alongside, I'm sure. As do I, and all of our viewers. Great job, boys. Well done. South Christian in the dark blue uniforms. Muskegon Heights in the white. A pair of teams that are 25-1. Cool from the top of the circle. That won't go.
Ooh, changing hoops may have thrown him off just a little bit as he goes 0 for 2.
Sidnor up and in.
Sidnor.
The first time in this game that David Cool has missed 2 shots consecutively.
Quick turnover as McDaniel forced Torres into a bit of a travel. It's a 1-point game. Muskegon Heights back on top. Muskegon Heights in a relatively easy game last night. Sidnor, the only player on their team to play 25 minutes, might be a little bit more well-rested than his South Christian. And Ryan, that rolls off. Sidnor pushing the pace.
And they just don't stop. You get no chance to rest in the offense to defense exchange. If you're Grand Rapids South Christian, you must get back, you must locate the ball and get it stopped. Otherwise, they are attacking the basket every time.
Foul on Amac by David Cool, his 3rd foul, and that is huge for the Sailors.
And you mentioned the fact that South Christian not nearly as deep as Muskegon Heights, and the pace so fast at times. Fatigue could become a factor, and fatigue causes you to pick up fouls.
Number 13, Baker.
Cool will stay in even though the Sailors make some subs.
He's played this entire game, has not come out yet.
One shot.
Baker and Kassane go in. Daniel hits the second of 2. And it's a 3-point game. Pressure continues by the Tigers.
It's a smart Muskegon Heights team as well as experience. And they're forcing this thing their way with pressure. Both ends of the floor. Attacking with the basketball and in-your-face defense on this end.
Same shot is blocked.
That's 5 for Sanders.
South Christian will retain possession. Ed Sanders with 6 points, but he has been much bigger, pardon the pun, in this game than just those 6 points. David Cool surprised by the pass from Torres. 7-0. Blocked shots for the Tigers. Cool has it stripped by Smith. Sidnor ahead. Foul inside.
I think that Coach Keith Guy is getting exactly what he wants right now from his guys. I mean, their pressure was intense in the first half. It's even greater now.
They've turned it up.
Oh, they have. It's almost like there's an extra defender out there because it continues to look like there's an opening for South Christian, but it's not there. It's a mirage.
Animated. Ken Hiskins calls the timeout.
Timeout. 30-second timeout.
And he's not talking to his teams as much as he is talking to the officials, hoping to turn the tables. Let's listen in.
You're gonna get hacked every time you get it. All right, just keep running motion. That is good. Either one of you take it. All right. We mix it a circle, but anytime they blow it up, 45. Big thing is we have to sprint at both ends. Now you got a little rest time. We're gonna get another timeout in about a minute or so. All right. Smart. You got 3. All right, let's go. Let's go, guys. Unbelievable. Ship. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Ship. No fouls on here.
Chance for the Sailors to regroup a little bit. The coach to get his blood pressure under control just a skosh.
Well, yesterday he was very animated in one of those timeouts. Maybe he's saving it
Smith
because
at
he
the
got
line
everybody's
gets
face
2.
when he didn't feel like his team was playing the way they should in their game against Renaissance, and they responded. This time he was a little bit more composed over there, but he can explode if he needs to. Ken Hiskins,
one of the best coaches in the state of Michigan. Captain Dominique Smith missed the first, got the second. And the lead is 4 for the Tigers.
5 has been the biggest lead both ways. Neither team able to build on it.
7 straight points now for Muskegon Heights.
A lot of deflections, a lot of loose balls here being caused by the defensive tenacity and the foot speed and movement of Muskegon Heights.
Cool with the omnipresent Smith right in his face. Out to Baker, to Torres. Hussein on a wing, wide open for a 3. Bounces off the front iron, and Sidnor will let it go out of bounds. Hiskins is rolling his eyes. These are not the Sailors he knows and loves, at least right now. If that can change in a heartbeat in a championship game. David Cool, tough defense, playing with the 3 fouls, but he'll draw the offensive foul. And South Christian will get the basketball.
That's the thing you worry about. I'm sure Ken Hiskins, every time there's penetration from Grand Rapids, against Grand Rapids South Christian, he has to be holding his breath because the last thing he wants to do is have Cool pick up a 4th foul with this much time to go in the game.
You know that is important on the minds of Keith Guy. Sailors looking for their first field goal this quarter. Cool in the paint. Got it.
5, David Cool.
Could have picked up a charge there. He's got to be careful going down the lane. Got away with one there.
Quick timeout called as Anthony Sidnor picked up his dribble. Under the pressure from Jordan Torres. So the Tigers take a timeout halfway through the 3rd quarter.
Here, I want you to watch a moment ago as Cool worked himself up to the top of the key, caught the ball, and immediately went left-hand dribble inside. Does he charge here? No, not quite. As the defender was already falling back, flopping on the play. But that's how close it can be when you're trying to protect your best player and scorer who has 3 fouls.
And we are given the benefit of seeing that in slow motion, instant replay, the officials reacting to it in real time, and sometimes those calls don't always go your way.
Well, the one thing he did smartly that time, he's already missed a couple of J's, so he decided this time to take it inside just to get himself a basket and build his confidence.
He's not just a scorer, he's a basketball player. Sidner swings it. Barry McDaniel.
Playing defense right now.
It's an active zone. McDaniel. That won't go. Cool rebounds. Inside it goes, outside it goes. The same shot won't go. Van Ryn rebounds. In the tall trees, he's fouled. Chris Van Ryn.
42.
The thing I like is that neither one of these teams will let the other get away. You get your little 4, maybe 5-point lead, and then we're coming right at you.
His favorite athlete is Lance Armstrong because of the adversity that Armstrong had overcome. And winning a championship is all about adversity.
Number 5, Martin, and number 30, Cross.
Chris Van Ryn had quite a night last night. 2 for 2 from the floor, 1 for 1 from three-point land, 2 for 2 free throws, 7 points, a couple of assists, 3 steals. All helping the efforts of David Cool and South Christian get to this point. Ball is loose. South Christian rebounds. David Cool goes baseline. Double pumps. Shot rolls off, and he'll go to the free throw line.
He continues to pass up the jumper in favor of going to the basket, showing that he has a very deceptive first step. Gives you a couple of shakes. You got to play up on him because you don't want to give him an open jumper, but that's just enough for him to get by you.
19 points for the junior. Out of 20. Again, 37 points last night. His career high is 39.
They're making him work a whole lot harder for his successes here in this third quarter. Cool, not getting nearly the openings that he had earlier.
We are even again. 3.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. We'll decide the Class B championship from this point forward. We'll continue from the Breslin Center right after this. 37 apiece to decide the Class B championship. Let's give you a little bit of background on the two schools who are playing tonight. South Christian with a rather small enrollment. It's been around since 1950. A Utah Jazz player once went to school there. Muskegon Heights, not that far away. Their enrollment about the same, and they've been around even longer. Carl Rush, who played in the NFL, went there, and Muskegon Heights, as you might imagine, just on the outskirts of Muskegon in western Michigan. In fact, it could be argued that when it comes to Class B basketball, at least this year, the West Side is the best side. Two teams from western Michigan will decide the state of Michigan champion for Class B, and we are even.
We're in jail.
Out it goes to Sidnor. On David Cool. Looking to draw that important fourth foul. Did he get it? He did not.
Taylor foul 24, Van Ryn.
Fouls on Chris Van Ryn, his first.
Well, you can see the intention. Get it inside, put pressure on Cool. Maybe he's playing.
Sidnor gets 2.
Maybe he's playing to protect, and you can get by him and get an advantage. And if he gets too aggressive, you pick up his fourth foul. So I think it's intentional that they're going after Cool.
Anthony Sidnor now with 16 points. Three years of varsity Tiger. Battling, coming out of it is Tim Dykrath. Gordon Torres trying to find Cool, and does. Picked by Dykrath, springs Cool baseline, but he is swallowed up by defensive pressure from the Tigers, and here they come. James Martin's shot won't go. Some of the depth that Muskegon Heights has is into the game, and there's Sanders getting the hook.
There's Sanders showing that he can provide some offense if you give him the ball at the right spot. Took that little dribble to improve his position.
Ed Sanders, a junior. Torres, nice save to Cool. Cool shot won't go. And Muskegon Heights pushing the pace with some of their reserves. David Cross.
Whenever the pace gets really fast, it seems to go Muskegon Heights' way. And I know South Christian can play up-tempo.
Another timeout for Ken Hiskus. Another 30 seconds to regroup. As Muskegon Heights have rattled off 5 straight points.
And there's another 5-point lead, which has been the biggest, as I've indicated before. So now will Grand Rapids South Christian respond? They certainly have in the past. Here's the defense. As Cool was trying to get inside, he gets stripped of the basketball. And of course, those turnovers speeds the transition game that Muskegon Heights likes to have. And again, you wonder, Cool has played every minute so far tonight. How is that affecting his stamina?
He is the Class B AP Player of the Year. That was announced on Thursday. Coach said the spotlight is on him all the time. He fully realizes that. He never disappoints. Said to be a very humble kid. And Muskegon Heights perhaps thinking the party might be on. Not waiting till the end of the game to get things going.
Still a whole lot of time to go.
These two teams met for the Class B title in 2003. That year, David Cool was a freshman. South Christian against Muskegon Heights, and David Cool was wearing number 20 back then. But he was the 6th man and a very big part of the Sailors' romp past Muskegon Heights. Of course, the Tigers of Muskegon Heights remember that game very well. Ken Hiskus remember that feeling very well. Hoping to replicate it here tonight, but his Sailors are down 5 to the Tigers as we're deep into the 3rd quarter. Gordon Torres. Hussein to Van Ryn.
Looks like they want to post up Cool now. He's working in the paint area.
Foul is called on James Martin.
Look at Cool. You know, you can play him anywhere on the floor. Here it looks like they'd like to get him in the post, but never able to create enough space in there for him to get it. So eventually Torres goes on the drive.
6'2" and 190 is David Cool. Inside it goes to Vanderschaft, but he is smothered by Sanders.
6 blocks for Sanders.
Sane comes up with a loose ball. To Cool. Got it.
David Cool.
There's very few cracks out there, but he found one that time, did Cool, to get his shot off easily.
Cross will take a shot. That bounces away. Sanders and Vanderschaft tangle in a scramble. Cool calling for the ball. Great defensive intensity by the Tigers. Extending their defense all the way near half court. Cool baseline against 3 Tigers. The block by Sanders, but a foul has been called.
Well, he just hung in there, did Sanders. Sanders still clogging up that lane. He'll come over, he'll get a piece of that one, but then Cool staying with it. Sanders was not about to get the second one.
At the line,
It's 2 fouls on Ed Sanders.
number 5, David Cool.
6'8" junior. David Cool perfect at the free throw line thus far.
Number 1, Dominic Smith for Anderson.
Last night he made 4 or 5 free throws in his 37-point performance.
John, you know, we've had 3 5-point leads in this game. 2 by Muskegon Heights, 1 by Grand Rapids South Christian. None of them saw 6 or 7 or 8. They stayed at 5 and then went the other way.
The final minute of the 3rd quarter will be without David Cool as they're trying to prevent his 4th foul, and so he'll get a breather. Matt Baker with the steal, but he was whistled for the foul.
I think it's a good decision to get Cool out of the game. He gets the rest of this quarter, the quarter break, before he comes back in fresh. More importantly, he will not pick up a foul on the bench. He'll stay with 3. And that was a close call right there.
The South Christian bench wanted that call.
Poole goes out with a 1-point deficit facing South Christian.
Sidnor on Torres. Sidnor calling for help. Here comes the double team. David Cross. Sidnor with a ball fake. He'll penetrate. Dominique Smith. Ball on the floor. And another foul on Baker. Maybe the officials trying to regain a little bit of control here.
Well, you know, that was a loose ball, but I think what happened, Baker just dives right on top of number 1, Smith. Really wasn't going for the ball, but he certainly got a sizable piece of Smith. And the official getting right on that. Here he's going to go down. Now watch Smith. And then here comes Baker right on top of him, crushes him like a football player.
Well, in fact, he is a football player. The South Christian team went to the semifinals in the state tournament last fall. Matt Baker a part of that.
Doing a nice job of extending in that zone so as not to allow any type of easy pass and certainly very little penetration. South Christian moving his feet well.
Last seconds of the third quarter. Sidnor will take a 3. That will not go. And 1 point separates Grand Rapids South Christian from Muskegon Heights for the Class B championship game. 8 minutes to be played, perhaps, to determine the last championship of the day. And David Cool will re-enter the game when the fourth quarter begins. What a game it's been. What a day it has been here in East Lansing. And what a finish we expect. We'll bring you the beginning of that finish as our coverage of the high school championships continue on FSN in just a moment. You don't get to be 25-1 and find your way into the championship game without playing your share of close games. So Muskegon Heights and South Christian certainly know this feeling. David Cool scored all 8 of the Sailors' points in the third quarter.
Just to give you an idea of how tight it's been, it was a tie after 1, a 3-point game at halftime, and now a 1-point game when it's winning time. We're in the fourth quarter, folks.
This is good stuff. We're glad you're along with us. John Keating, Greg Kelser, and our FSN crew, bringing you the Class B championship game. Offensive foul called on Muskegon Heights.
Banger foul 30. David Cross, his third.
Draws his third foul.
17th foul, bonus on for the Sailors.
And South Christian is in the bonus from now until the end of regulation.
You know, they keep going after Cool. It seems like whomever he's guarding is looking to penetrate against them, but he's played to avoid picking up that foul, and he's still been a tough defender.
Detroit Renaissance went after Cool as well in the semifinal game last night and still scored 37 points. So this is not new to him. And hits both. And the Sailors are back on top. Heights with the basketball. Anthony Sidnor. There's Scott. Inside it goes. Popped away from Vance. And the Sailors take over. David Cool against David Cross. And he's fouled.
Is that going the other way?
Nope. Cool will shoot more free throws.
He is
generally not good news for the opposing team.
Yeah, he is really starting to torque it up. I mean, attacking the basket, going right at the defenders, the interior defenders of Muskegon Heights.
The fourth foul on Calvin Vance.
Keep in mind, he's fresh now. He got that little rest over there. He has scored all of their points in this half.
Number 5, James Martin.
He is something.
One shot.
We're glad you're able to see him. Just a junior. He'd love to go to college and play on this floor, says his coach.
And for the Sailors, 23,
he said it too.
Which, as a Michigan State alum, I would think would intrigue Greg Kelser.
Well, one of his heroes, I'd love to see him go here with that type of ability. Heck yeah. But the thing that he says he admired Matt Stegengar, Grand Rapids South Christian alumnus, and also a Michigan State alumnus, so he'd love to follow in those steps.
Double team by South Christian. Almost stolen by Cool. Daniel against Torres. This crossover dribble. Another double team. Inside it goes. Rebound by McDaniel. That won't go. And he gets his own miss back. Ball is saved by Baker. Cool against Sidnor. And he's fouled on his way to the basket. And the foul's on Sidnor.
Well, you've got Muskegon Heights that is really rushing and forcing things now, playing out of control. Meanwhile, every time they make a mistake, it looks like number 5 right there, David Cool, is ready to make them pay. And look at that move to avoid a charge. Right now, it's a one-man show that's taking down Muskegon Heights.
30-second timeout called before David Cool gets a chance to shoot some free throws. Some of these kids probably a part of the 2003 celebration, which followed the championship win over Muskegon Heights. Hoping for the same kind of party tonight. Ken Hiskus barking instruction to his Sailors. 8-0 run for Grand Rapids South Christian. You can see the success that Muskegon Heights has had on their way to this meeting with South Christian. They've won handily throughout. So this is kind of a new experience.
Yeah, and how will they respond to it? I mean, when you've not been there. Well, I think if the last two possessions are any indication, maybe panicking a little bit because they were hurrying shots and missing layups.
Behind continued scoring from David Cool, the Sailors have opened a 4-point lead. Looking to get it back to Greg Kelser's magic number 5. And does.
Well, let's see now. It's the 4th, 5th-point lead, 2 by each team. Let's see if this either goes back the other way or if South Christian is able to make it grow.
He picks up McDaniel. Just enough pressure to force AMAC to throw it out of bounds.
Well, McDaniel was trying to shoot a shot where he had not cleared himself. He was not open. That was going to be a force. Very well defended by Cool right there. He had no shot. And that's why the turnover occurred.
David Cool with the ball in his hands. Through a couple of Tigers. This pass to Matt Baker was picked off. Here comes Sidnor. Sidnor pulls back off the back iron. Rebound of the Tigers. There is a scramble for it. And the ball is going South Christian's way. Here comes full court pressure.
Well, here's the long shot. Here's the rebound. The second shot, partially blocked. Hard to tell who that went off of, but not a lot going Muskegon Heights' way right now, at all.
We have seen momentum shift quickly and dramatically in this game. Baker to Kassane. Will be on the arc. Inside he goes to Kassane. Swallowed up by Tiger defenders. Baker with nowhere to go, and his coach calls a quick timeout. That's a full timeout.
Grand Rapids.
Ken Hiskus was the first to know he was in trouble, so he bailed him out. Good timeout.
It is 47-42 as the Sailors fight song is cranked up here in East Lansing. 5:44 to play to decide the Class B championship. We'll get you right back. The Tigers of Muskegon Heights trying to fill a 5-point hole with 5:44 to play in the fourth quarter of the Class B championship game, and such tradition at Muskegon Heights. This is their 8th appearance in a championship game in 35 years. They've been a Class A team. They're now a Class B team. They won back-to-back in 78 and 79, but nothing since then, even though they came close in 93 and in 2003, losing to South Christian. But the fever is back in Muskegon Heights. Keith Guy's done a terrific job with his kids. Silly foul by Matt Baker underneath the basket.
Oh, man. After your coach draws up the play that he wants,
Baker, his third,
you don't get a shot. You don't even get a chance to inbounds it.
We talked about him being a football player. That was a football foul. And Muskegon Heights trying to take advantage. Ricky Anderson and James Martin.
That was under control. Penetration and a dump down low.
Nice give and go from Vandershaft to Cool.
How about the way Cool protected the ball with his body? The guy just knows how to score.
The Sailors score. The Tigers come right back. Some of their non-starters on the floor. That's David Cross. Spins to the paint and hits.
30, Cross.
It's back to a three-point game.
Keep your eye on Cool. He's the only one producing points right now.
Sidnor picks the pocket of Torres ahead to Cross. Laying good.
30, David Cross.
And just like that,
Right
it's
back
a one-point game.
Yep.
David Cool.
David Cool.
Calmly bumps it back to 3.
Boy, if I'm Muskegon Heights, I'm playing him without the ball. He just can't touch it anymore because they can't stop him.
Rebound Vandershaft, and he is promptly fouled. But the foul is on Kassane, or is it?
I think he sort of got under the legs that time
Sailor foul
of Edward
23.
Sanders.
Kassane, his
It
second.
is a Kassane foul
17
on
foul.
Sanders.
Bonus on
And that puts
for the Tigers.
Muskegon Heights in the bonus.
Big free throws for Sanders. Here you're going to see Sanders is going to go up for the rebound, and he gets low bridge right there.
And for the Sailors, 24 Van Ryan, 32 Beckcraft. At the line,
And Sanders'
52,
dad and his uncle and his
Edward
aunt
Sanders.
played at Muskegon
One
Heights.
shot, bonus on.
His dad wanted him to attend the same school. So they transferred in from Grand Rapids Central.
I like the way he wears that headband. Look at that thing. It's not over the forehead, keeping the sweat off the brow. He's got that lid turned sideways.
Sanders trying to make a pair. That rims out. Oh, the pocket was picked by Ricky Anderson. Sidnor to Anderson. Swatted away by Van Ryn. Here comes Cool. Sidnor takes it right away from him. Great stuff in East Lansing tonight. David Cross, yes, for 3!
3 for number 30, David Cross.
And the Tigers are back on top.
My. Another 5-point lead. Blown.
Cool foul before the shot. And he'll go back to the line.
Right now, he is the lifeblood of this team. I mean, in
Tiger
every way,
foul
because
30.
no one
Cross
else has
is fourth.
scored in this half
10 team foul.
other
Double
than
bonus
David
on.
Cool
gets
for
2.
South Christian. He's got all of their points.
David Cool has attempted 12 free throws and made all 12 tonight.
Give him 36 for the game.
This one will tie his point total from last night in a semifinal win over Detroit Renaissance. He's got it. 14 for 14 from the line for David Cool. Sidnor drives against Van Ryn. And he's fouled. Anthony
Center
Sidnor
foul.
will head to the line.
Number 4, Torres, his second.
Torres drawing the foul.
18th foul.
His second.
At the line, Sidnor.
Anthony Sidnor, whose father played football at Muskegon Heights. This is the first of 2. Ahead to Van Ryn, almost forgotten. Laying good.
He's the first one to score this half, other than number 5, Cool.
It's a 4-point lead now. Foul is called on Sanders. Over the back. He needs an effort to wrestle a rebound away.
Tiger foul.
That's 3 fouls on Big Ed Sanders.
His third. Double bonus on.
Sanders is going to go up high to get this rebound as it comes off. But he was blocked off, and usually that call will go in favor of the person with the inside position.
Andrew Vanderschaft will shoot 2. We're in the double bonus now.
It's been a long time since he's touched the basketball, so not surprising that he would step to the line and be a little off.
There's Sidnor. Well, that's Ed Sanders' father. Vanderschaft makes the second of the pair of free throws. It's back to a 4-point lead. Cross. Got it. 3-pointer.
For 30, David
Big
Cross.
shots that Cross has knocked down. Pulls it back to within 1. What a game. Why does it have to end?
I'm not sure how much these kids have. Torres down the lane. Against Sanders. And Martin. And he's fouled. Challenges at both ends of the court.
Tiger foul.
Well, Torres
number
gets
5,
a turn right there,
his third.
and he gets
At the
inside.
line, Torres gets
That's a lot of ball. That's a lot of ball, partner.
Well, he got help there. There's no question about it. Sanders got him up top.
Torres gets a kind bounce. Every point absolutely crucial. 2:41 to play.
Well, here of late, you got some other guys stepping up trying to make an impact on the outcome of this game other than David Cool.
1 shot.
Vanderschaft will get a breather. Cassane back into the game.
A couple of tough calls going against Sanders, and now Sanders saddled with 3 fouls. Still not dire straits in that foul situation.
Torres hits both ends. It's a 3-point game. Anthony Sidnor. David Cross has hit some big shots here late. Over David Cool. That bounces away. Rebound of Van Ryn. He was fouled from behind by Cross. David Cool back to the line.
Tiger foul 30, David Cross. 5 fouls on Cross.
That hurts. Cross fouling out is a big loss. Big loss. Because he's the one that's shooting it from the outside well for them, and they lose that now.
Replacing Cross, number 2, Arian McDaniel.
McDaniel comes into the game, replacing David Cross. Tigers will have to get some offense elsewhere. And Cool will look to continue
Number 5, David Cool.
his string of perfection at the free throw line. And David Cross can't bear to watch.
Well, he's helpless to do anything about the outcome, and that is a horrible feeling. When you're eliminated from a game due to fouls, and now you got to hope someone else can get it done for you.
He has played terrifically, and there's no consoling David Cross right now. On he goes. 39 points for David Cool. One-handed floater. Rebound to that man. Cool looking to create against Sidnor. Saved by Van Ryn.
Boy, the defense trying to get the ball. Muskegon Heights is in the hand of the man who needs it for South Christian.
Cool saved his own miss. And he's fouled from behind by Sidnor. And the way he's shooting free throws, that does not bode well for Muskegon Heights. 3 fouls now on Anthony Sidnor. And Cool will shoot a pair.
He wants it. They're finding him. Tough shot here. Long rebound, but when it hits the floor, it's in Cool's hands, and steady they are. And he has been very, very good from the line.
That's an even 40 points. And Muskegon Heights will take a timeout.
Muskegon Heights.
They're now down by 6. We've cracked that 5-point barrier.
Finally.
With a $1:41 to play in the Class B championship game. We told you about Muskegon Heights and their propensity to win games rather easily. This is an odd set of circumstances for the Tigers. So we wondered, head coach Keith Guy, what is said when a game is on the line by you to your team?
One thing I like to tell them is that we've been through all types of situations this year. And I don't think any situation that we face in a basketball game this week or whenever is going to be new to us. So we've been here before, and I like to tell them, guys, we've been here, keep your confidence, keep your head, keep playing, and good things will happen.
There's Keith Guy.
Sound advice.
His Tigers looking for a little magic late in the Class B championship game. Let's listen in. Keith Guy, a graduate of Muskegon Heights in 1993. Danny Hiskis, 162 wins in 8 years at South Christian. David Cool has set a new championship game record with 17 made free throws.
One shot.
He now has the 5th highest point total with 40 points. Make it 41.
Automatic. And now a 7-point lead. You got a 3-possession game here, but clock's not a factor yet. But you need solid execution the rest of the way if you're Muskegon Heights.
McDaniel against Cool. Dominic Smith will put it up. Yes!
Now you can come with pressure, but you don't want to foul. You especially don't want to foul number 5. Keep in mind, with no shot clock, this tremendously favors a team with a lead that has good ball handling.
1-3-1 zone press by Muskegon Heights. In cross court. And it's Keeper right now.
They do a nice job of spreading the floor.
Cool looking for a foul, begging for a foul, and he gets one.
Tiger foul number 3.
And Sidnor draws another.
His 4th.
That's Anthony's 4th foul of the game. We're under a minute to play. He's inching ever upward.
He's got a chance at that top spot in this game.
Gets one more.
19 for 19 from the free throw line.
The reason I say that, he's going to have the ball in his hands. And you're going to have Muskegon Heights looking to foul. Stop the clock. Draw this game out as much as possible.
You are watching something special tonight. 20-20 is David Cool from the free throw line. Sidnor will put up a long 3. That rattles out. There's David with the ball again. Stolen away by McDaniel. just stepped over the end line. 40 seconds to play. 7-point game. Just a little.
Didn't call a foul there.
Inside, Dykegraf hits it. And the party is on.
32,
McDaniel for three. Sanders rebounds. And Van Ryn is fouled.
I think that will do it right there. It's a heck of a basketball game that has gone down to the end.
Muskegon Heights foul, 5.
What a game we have witnessed from both these two teams. And a spectacular performance from David Kuhl. Giving encouragement to Chris Van Ryn. Kuhl with 43 points. And Keith Guy has done a spectacular job all season long. Looks like he and the Tigers might be on their way to their second loss of the season.
Yeah, and it'll hurt. It'll hurt for a while. Eventually they'll realize, hey, we've had a sound season, but when you're thinking championship and you fashion yourself a champion, runner-up is just not a good feeling.
And here comes some subs. Tony Kloosterman enters the game.
Difference in this game is that Grand Rapids South Christian had David Kuhl, and Muskegon Heights didn't.
Jordan Torres will watch the final seconds, having been replaced by Brian Newick. Ryan's free throw bounces away, and Anthony Sidnor seems resigned to the fact that his Tigers will come up just a little bit short. Three-pointer goes with 7 seconds to play.
Number 3, Sidnor.
And that will do it.
Final score. Sailors of Grand Rapids South Christian 67. Tigers of Muskegon Heights 60. I'd say remain in your seats for the award ceremonies, which will start in just a moment.
The emotions are just as intense in opposite ends of the spectrum. As much of a high as it is for the South Christian Sailors, it is that much of a low for the Muskegon Heights Tigers, who came to East Lansing on a mission, only to come up just a little bit short. (67-60). South Christian Sailors win the Class B championship to close out a full day of basketball here in East Lansing.
Number 5, James.
Well, that is what they play for. The big wooden mitten that signifies basketball supremacy in the state of Michigan, and that will sit in the trophy case of South Christian near Grand Rapids. Terrific basketball all day long, and a great way to finish it. South Christian holding off Muskegon Heights. Thank you for joining us for a wall-to-wall coverage of the 2005 Boys Basketball Finals. For Greg Kelser, I'm John Keenan saying so long from the Breslin Center. Again, the final score in the Class B title game, the Sailors 67, the Tigers 60. You've been watching high school basketball on FSN Detroit, where you can see the Detroit Sports Report every night at 10. So long from the Breslin Center in East Lansing.
High School,